We were gathering eggs and we were just going about it normal, and all of a sudden this young girl was playing in the barn here. She shouldn't have been here, but she was, and then she just all of a sudden started yelling, and we hit the off switch, and luckily her finger was in between the sprocket and the chain. Like there's a little gap in there, and that kind of saved her, and the quick action to shut it off, that saved her finger too. I like to farm, but I want to have my family involved. But if part of my family is missing from farming, it's not a passion anymore.
I think it was important for Egg Farmers of Alberta to get involved when the topic of farm safety came up for a few different reasons. And one was just that, we have a sustainability platform and we've said we're committed to healthy farms, and healthy people and healthy farmers is a key component of that. And the second is that we've always tried to take an education and support role with our farmers. So when things come at them, we feel it's our job to help them through that. And so, for there to be things coming down from either retailer sustainability sourcing programs or from a regulatory perspective, to be able to say, okay, well, what can we put in front of you to make this a little bit easier for you? And also from just a liability perspective for our farmers, that's a big piece of it too, is that if they're responsible to make sure that their workers are safe, how can we help support them in that?
Farm safety, I think, is very simple, and on our farm we keep it simple and we let it grow. Farm safety is something that can be easily integrated into your daily routine. It's like in environmental programs that we have. If you see something dripping, you have to fix it. If you see there's bulbs flickering, you have to put in a new bulb. And farm safety is no harder than that. It's a daily routine that you do, and at the end of the day, you see your accomplishment and it's paid off.
There's two pieces of how Egg Farmers of Alberta has approached it and trying to keep it practical. And I guess the first is just focusing on really what are 10 things, 10 activities that you do on your farm that you could look at and say, what's the most dangerous aspect of how I'm doing this, and how could I try to prevent accidents around this in the future. And then the second piece has been trying to just do a little bit of storytelling or sharing of stories. So our field staff, Marie and Dave, went out there and had conversations with farmers about, well, just tell me about a time where there was either an accident or a near miss. Tell me about something that scared you or an injury that you saw that made you reflect and go, if I had just had this policy in place or this piece of equipment in place, that probably wouldn't have happened, and corrective actions that you've changed since then. And then if we can share that with other farmers, it might make them think about things in their operation that they may not have necessarily realized were a hazard or a risk.
There are resources on our producer website on farm safety where you can start. There's links on there where you can go to on Alberta's farm safe plans. Now there's Egg Safe Alberta with lots of resources, lots of downloadable templates that you can print or edit even if you need to. On our farm, I started out with signage, confined space here, loud noises here, first aid kits there, as good as I could, and everything else grew from there. You put on anti-slip on your ladders and little things like that that do not cost a lot of money. Made sure there's always masks, earplugs there for the helpers, and if it's there, easy to find, easy to use, they will use it much more. Do a little bit every even 1 or 2 things a year. It's not a lot, but if you do 1 or 2 things a year in farm safety on your farm, sooner or later, you have a farm safe plan.
If there's one person, one injury, one accident that is prevented, then it's all worthwhile, right? Like, I think farmers are bombarded with so much, and I totally understand that, it's another area, it's more paperwork, but if that hour of paperwork can save a finger or save a life, then that's fantastic.
I think if you have a farm or a barn that you've managed for a certain amount of years, and by the end you can say, we cared for our animals, we made money with the farm or the barn, and there was never an injury, I think is a big accomplishment and achievement. It should make somebody proud.